Perfect. Hello and welcome to the Console Contenders League. If you saw us go live for like 10 seconds and go dark again, we had some connection issues, but back again for the second time. Hello and welcome to the Console Contenders League. My name is Charles Tang, joined tonight by Mr. CB and Femi on cams and producing this show. We got a wonderful lineup tonight as Lionhardt takes on 4Sight in the Tier 2 finals. How are we doing, CB?
Doing good. I'll reiterate what I said. I'm excited to see both these teams go up against each other. Excited to be casting again, going into this match. Of course, it's a huge game. It's the finals, of course. And right. 4Sight actually has the upper hand on Lionhardt. In the regular season, they managed to beat them, but we'll see if Lionhardt can perhaps take the series and get some redemption,
I mean, if 4Sight are to be trusted here in their trash talk and match chat, they definitely are feeling pretty good about themselves right now.
Yeah, I mean, they should be. I mean, they've been undefeated the whole season. They have every right to be confident. But Lionhardt are the underdogs in this story. So you never know. Maybe the underdog pulls it through and defeats the undefeated Titan of this series.
What we do have for us right now, I don't believe we have as we're just trying to get everything set up, what we do have right now are the lineups for either side. Starting on the side of Lionhardt, we have Drink and King on the tank line, as Lair and Jackish trying to put out the damage, and we have Ursa and Oreo trying to keep everybody alive. On 4Sight, we got the tank line of Grand and Anchor. On the DPS lineup, we have Blossom and MJ, and on the support lineup, Elro and Bean. This is going to be really exciting to see what plays out. Obviously, there were some meta shifts not too long ago. We got a wild week of playing two off tanks of Hog and Zarya, but I think we've maybe switched back a little bit now. But what's interesting to see is how these teams adapt to that, CB, because the first half of the season was very dominated by bunker and double barrier compositions, but now the game is in a state where it's extremely map dependent and very dive heavy as well. So it'll be really interesting, CB, to see what these two teams go with.
Yeah, and you know what they say, the teams that are the most adaptable, especially in this time of Overwatch, they're going to be the most successful. They don't even have to be the best of the best in a single meta. They have to be able to adapt. And, I mean, you see both these teams are the best of the best at doing that. They're in the finals for a reason, I mean. So, yeah, it should be very, very interesting to see how these teams adapt from that switch, from the Hog Zarya, Hog Wrecking Ball kind of meta that we had into this map dependent, like you said, very dive heavy. I do see a lot of Rhine being played as well. And Orisa is viable once again. Just throwing that out there. She hits like a truck now with that laser of a gun that she has.
I mean, I think the devs really doubled down with Orisa and made her like even more of a turret than before, which I think, if anything, gives her pretty solid niche to go off of.
Yeah, she very much is kind of like a turret in a way, but you have to keep her alive in order to get her value, which is why the Baptiste is pairs so well with the Orisa, and so does the Moira as well. Can also be very, very good to have. Which is why it's kind of one of those niche kind of picks where you have to be holding a certain area with Orisa. You can't really dive with her like you can't go on Gibraltar and just run Orisa. It's a little hard for that to happen.
Yeah, Orisa was broken to a point where you just run pirate ship with her on Gibraltar and it'd still work. But we saw in the Overwatch League a lot of very creative and unforeseen compositions come out, especially from the tank line. And as a tank player, that's what I'm going to notice first. But a lot of Zarya is getting a lot of playtime. The monkey Zarya is still something we see often. And what's really interesting is that a lot of times we're seeing the Samba Reaper dive come out as well. Not so much to dive backline targets, but because that's the most to play dive in a really brawly way, almost like goats. I think this meta of Overwatch is probably the closest we have come back to goats since we have a 2-2-2 roll lock put in place.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
CB, you still have owner of the lobby.
Oh, I'm the owner of the lobby. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
So how?
Just
Would I have to leave and then come back?
No, just hover over my account
No, you can
and
just
then
give it to
make owner.
Yeah.
Just hit X on me and make owner.
Wait, how do I? It's not letting me.
So just use like the D-pad and get the CC streamer. Hit X,
Mhm.
and then it'll say make owner when you not like in the top right, like in the spectators. Find me in the spectators.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad, guys. Sorry for the game being a little delayed. But it's it's a very interesting time. I very okay. This is a little controversial of an opinion, but I was a big fan of goats. It did kill one of my favorite characters, personally, Tracer, but it did open up my hero pool a little bit more, and I kind of like goats for that reason. It made me like not only just hard pick Tracer, I had to be a little more adaptable. And
I mean,
I actually
think
found it very
Goats
fun.
was really fun just because it was like the ultimate team play composition. Like you had to be so good with teamwork and how you moved around your team in order to make it work.
Yeah, and like you said, we're seeing. I mean, the closest you can really get to goats at this point, because of course, goats is kind of. I mean, it's dead. You got the 2-2-2
Right.
lock. You can't play goats anymore. But you have these teams trying to make a composition somewhat like it, and I mean this comp that we're seeing in Overwatch League is very, very, very close to what to what we got. But I do like seeing my dive too. It's one of my personal favorites. So not biased, not biased.
Rodham Tal, we're trying to get the lobby set up. I'm sorry. We got a lot of our chat thinking it looks pretty good for 4Sight. Lionhardt really setting themselves up with a hill to climb here. But I mean, big games like this are about big players getting those big clutch moments off. So 4Sight obviously are incredibly comfortable in that. But if I'm a Lionhardt player, I've been hyped all day, all week about this, right? If there's a game where I'm coming in as the theoretical underdogs, that's something I've been grinding hard at and hoping, fingers crossed, that 4Sight might have some complacency creep into their game.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be tough for Lionheart going up against the frankly the best team in their division. You go undefeated, you're undefeated for a reason. It's a very tall order for Lionheart to pull this out, but it's not impossible. They made it here for a reason, and I don't know. To me, I really do like seeing 4Sight changing their logos right now to the Lionheart. I think that's a little bit BM, but that's hilarious.
If you can't beat him, join him.
Exactly. Okay. So we do have the lineups. What do we... Huh. Did they change it again for Lionheart?
Right no.
They were,
you're seeing the specs, is what you're seeing.
Oh, specs, okay.
Okay.
I
So
thought they
right
changed
now,
it again.
the last time I had the good fortune of being on the desk for a championship cast, it was a 7-mapper 3-hour cast, and well, it's a championship game again. It's first to 4 again, so we could be here for a very, very long time, which is fine because my neighbors are having a party, and they're making a lot of noise, so I can just join the. I can match that. I got a sandwich and fries waiting for me though, so I'm not gonna complain if this ends up being a pretty quick game. I just yelled at my neighbors actually, because they were making a lot of noise and like they were singing along to their music, which is fine, but none of them can rap. and they just sound really bad. And I honestly wouldn't care if they were rapping and they were good at rapping, but it was just horrid. And so I did yell and be like, "You guys sound bad. Please change the song." And now they're quiet. So I don't quite know what my ongoing relationship is with them is now.
Yeah. So we're still. I believe we're still waiting on the. We lost one. Okay. But yeah, I think we're still waiting on 4Sight to pick the map. We have a. I think we're starting with control. That's what we always start with. But they have not picked yet, I believe. Also, one person got kicked, so we gotta wait for them. Oopsies. Saw we. But yeah, I feel you on that neighbor thing. Back where I used to live, oh man, the neighbors were so loud. So I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
Yeah, but now that I'm casting, I'm the loud neighbor, so it's all good. We've come full circle.
Yeah, like you said earlier about 4Sight, you can't beat them, join them. Okay, they're going for Lijiang. Their captain has picked Lijiang. So
okay, now we have some actual things to talk about. Lijiang Tower is personally one of my favorite maps in the game. I think that it offers a really wide variety of team compositions here, but what's always viable on this map, I think a lot of Sigma is viable, a lot of Rhine is viable, and I really like that, considering those are my two best heroes. And I think having that brawl style, especially in like a launch center, in those enclosed spaces, we have also seen Junkrat really eat up those small areas. But once you come into gardens, it's all about the ball, it's about the CC, it's about the Lucio, the boops. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm glad we picked Lijiang because I feel like I've casted Busan every game that I've done, so I'm glad we're here.
Yeah, it's funny. For me, it feels like I've cast Lijiang every time for first map. But yeah, I do like seeing Control Center because, Gardens and what's the other? Night Market, yeah. It feels like it kind of, you can run the same thing on both of them, which is more like a fast-paced kind of comp. But whenever you get to, which personally is my favorite point, Control Center, it feels like you have to run this kind of brawly style, which is what I enjoy playing into, especially someone who likes to play a little bit of Junkrat and some McCree here and there. I always enjoy that one. So yeah, I really do like these rush comp kind of styles. It's one of my personal favorites to watch, as well as cast. So very excited to see Lijiang come into this. Be picked, quite frankly.
So now that we have a little more of a population in chat, are we still thinking 4Sight chat? Like what we got going on? Because I haven't gotten too many, except for Kingpin. We haven't gotten too many Lionhardt.
Yeah, do we have any Lionhardt stands in the chat? Anyone?
Let's see some stuff going. Oh wow, we got some big names here, CB.
What's that?
Jesus Christ is in chat with us as well. Somebody asking if that's the real Jesus Christ from the Bible.
Hopefully. Bless this game.
Okay, Monkey Man's feeling Lionheart as well, so maybe we're feeling okay here. Just waiting on a couple. Are we waiting on, I believe, a couple DCs to come back? No, we're waiting for a bio break. Someone's on the toilet, chat.
I just saw that.
Great.
You love to see it. You love to see whenever it's delayed because someone is pooping. You love to see it.
Oh,
couldn't have picked a worse time.
I was casting a Bronze Tacos game not too long ago. This was another championship game, and halfway through, somebody got disconnected. And so we paused the game, and she came on. She's like, "Hey, like I'm really sorry. My son logged on the PS4 and logged onto my account and kicked me off Overwatch," which is a pretty bizarre way to go. But we're like, "Well, it's okay. You have kids. That sounds like a lot. We understand you have small children." And so we restarted, and like within no less than 10 seconds, somebody else on the same team got disconnected as well. So we pause again. and she comes back on. She's like, "Hi, so Johnny's my husband, and our kid logged onto his account this time, so we're gonna have to do the same thing all over again." So this married couple, were playing on the same team, and their kid logged them out of both accounts.
I mean, I don't know. It's a good excuse. At least it wasn't like a rage quit, I guess. Because I have casted a game where the team just kind of rage quit at the end of it. And it was the very last map. It didn't really even need to be played out. I forget who I was with. I think it might have been you. But on the last one on Rialto... Oh, no, it wasn't you. It was Gano. On the very last map, just before the game ended, they were dragging it out. They could have easily capped the point, but they were just dragging it out as long as they could. And they just all rage quit. It was you hate to see it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
All right, so jumping into Li Jiang now. As it looks like we're gonna start here on Garden, so maybe we'll see some ball action. The Lucio players in chat are rubbing their palms together.
Oh yeah, Lucio is very, very good for this point, especially, of course you got the environmentals, but Lucio on this map just has some fantastic rollouts. You can go straight into the window right here and be instantly on point to stall, or just get back fast to your team, so you don't have to, you have some shortcuts, so you don't have to wait too long after you respawn to get back. Testing out the pause feature, standard for us. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what these guys run here. It should be very interesting.
So it looks like Lionhardt are going to start us off with some Ball and Hog. I really hope that's not a debate, because that's probably the most entertaining tank lane you can whip out. Hog, of course, was meta for a week and then nerfed into absolute oblivion. Alro and Blossom over here are going to run into the Far Mercy combo. That's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out, because I do not believe we have hit scan hero on the side of Lionhardt.
No, we don't have any hit scan, but you are going to see this Echo and Pharah possibly dominate this Sky battle, especially since you only have one character to deal with it. Perhaps the Tracer can dive onto the Moira, deal some damage on the Winston, but I don't know how I feel about the...
Oh, that's the first pick of the series! Anchor gets absolutely dunked on, and that gets Jesse over halfway to their ult already. I was just going to say it looks really difficult because it didn't really have a CC to do with Anchor over here, but because they rolled through and barely took any damage, but that's one way to deal with it. King Selena takes down Grand Slimer as well, but okay, the DPS line of Lionhardt answering back to the tank line are going to die and feed like this. Wow! Boston's gonna find a triple kill instead. That's great work to flip the fight back over, and the point control are going to go over to Lionhardt as the DPS line pops off already. 2 DPS ults online already.
Yeah, Anchor got eliminated first, but it really doesn't matter. The ball is really there for the distraction factor, not really there to tank. And as you can see, as soon as the tank line falls for Lionhardt, you just Blossom and MJ just feeds on them, It's so easy to pick off people in this map with the Pharah and with the Tracer if you can get into that back line. Great gameplay on the side of 4Sight right there.
So no hit scan player coming out for 4Sight. They're going to stay with what they know, but we do have as Lair switching off the Echo to the Reaper, which I would argue is even less of a Pharah counter. So Blossom could end up having a really good game here. Alright, so we have Justice raining from above. Blossom here with the barrage. Takes down Ori over here as Lair and Drunk Lion both answering with some huge kills as Jesse over here is revived. Alro matches one of their own here, but Bean goes with the boot kill onto Ursa Boy over here, and it's absolute chaos on point. 4Sight just struggling to get their members on point over here. They do have point control-ish. They haven't quite finished the cap yet, but the whole hog comes out from Grand Slam Glamour, and it does look like Lionhardt are going to retain control at this point. And what's going to hurt 4Sight over here is how long that fight took, CB.
Yeah, they just really dragged that one out, and they invested a lot of ults into it, which unfortunately did not grant them the point. And I mean, Anchor, MJ, they have their ults as well, so it's gonna be very tough to push into this, especially since Blossom is just right there to yet another barrage. Great team play from 4Sight so far, and Jackish already.
Wow, so we're final fight territory over here, and as Lair finds a quadruple kill. As soon as Jackish wins that Tracer duel, Lair decides to hit Triangle and absolutely pop off here. The mine should deploy here, but Anchor, a little bit of an awkward position here as 4Sight is just able to clean those mines up, and as Lair takes down the ball as well. Alright, so that's Hog used. Okay, Hog used for Grand Slam Gamer over here as they manage to dodge the hook, but not the primary fire. So 4Sight do have control here, but they are missing their Reaper player. Hook goes on onto the Monkey as the Blossom comes out. Oh my goodness, Blossom comes up with the barrage and doesn't find anybody, takes himself down, but Anchor is there, takes down Oreo. Okay, and it's the support line that deleted for 4Sight really early on in this game as Lionhardt looks to take the point back.
Yeah, the ball really created that space for them to just absolutely just get in there. MJ has all this space to just run around and just be annoying, and Blossom just has that damage from the Pharah, you know, the rockets just raining in. It's just so much annoyance in the backline. You just really don't have time to focus on the Pharah or the Hog, and it, as you can see, it really this comp worked for them. This everything
did work for them. And just like Chad pointed out, can't believe Mercy Lucio is actually winning, which seems fair enough. And not only that, Lionhardt were using this theoretically, what we usually think of as a very low healing output combo to stay in some really prolonged fights, and they really made their combo work for them. And I think a big part of that is Alro and Fiend's ability to stay alive. I think we didn't see them picked up too many times as now they're running the Rhine Sigma to match the Rhine Zara from 4Sight. So the brawl coming in from both sides, the purest form of Overwatch in my humble opinion. The pin comes out from Drunk Lion, and Drunk Lion is very low and eventually is sent back to spawn. Now Jackish takes down MJ here, but that's the only one kill coming up from 4Sight. The Lionhardt they're taking down 4 players over here. Jackish does get a lot of work done, but not enough, and it's just the May left on point, and you better reset quickly because Lionhardt are picking up right where they left off.
Yeah, this double shield seems way better to go up against the Reaper May than this Ryan Zarya does to seem to go up against this Reaper Junkrat. You know, you just have so much pressure onto his shield. It's very hard to just, you know, keep it up and keep the team alive.
Alright, so it looks like 4Sight over here are going to push forward to the point. Oh, that was really odd. Jackish got taken down first, but Grand Slam Gamer ran into some trouble and then eventually got deleted. A really good ping coming up from Drunk Lion over here. But now the stall is coming out, and the full death Blossom. Oh, very aptly named gamer tag over here. Blossom comes out from our favorite Reaper and takes down 3 as Lionhardt. I mean, it looked really unlikely, but they do manage to hold on to the point here, and which is really fortunate because if you're Lionhardt, if you're in this composition with the double shield, with the Sigma, with the Reaper, and especially with MJ's Junkrat, you're going to want to hold the point and play on the defense.
Oh, huge shatter!
That's the whole team going down. Both teams are lying on the ground just taking a nap. Jackie is out there finding a kill piece, though, so Grand Slam Gamer is going to be down. Both Lionhardt missing from this fight so far. The grab comes out, shoot the grab, boys and girls, but nobody is there. The follow-up doesn't do anything. Lionhardt, 67% end ticket.
Yeah, you gotta give it up to the healers right there. Just able to keep them alive through the grab and through the Earth Shatter. Frankly, like, if the healers just weren't there, they would have just died just straight up, even with the Earth Shatter. Also, the picks from Blossom really did help with that as well.
There takes down Blossom, so looks like Lionhardt might be without their carry for now, so everybody else is going to have to take it up a notch. Selena pushes on towards the point, but the Crab takes on Alzera first. Jackish answers another huge death Blossom coming out here this map so far, as Lionhardt forced to back up, And can Anchor get out alive? No. So it is going to have to be a full reset coming out on the side of Lionhardt. And looking at these ultimates, not a lot to work with here on either side here, CB.
Yeah, you're gonna have Blossom with the Death Blossom, and you're gonna have the Sound Barrier coming out from Bean. But yeah, there is the Sound Barrier being answered with the Coalescence.
Yeah, the Coalescence coming out, and 4Sight's layering their support ult over here, especially after getting the pick onto MJ first. That might have been a little bit of a slight miscommunication. Now the Rhyme battle being fought here, and Grand Slam Gamer is forced to back off. Just so much brawl potential coming up from 4Sight. The beat is dropped from Bean as the Sound Barrier is there, connects onto 4. A little bit late for Grand Slam, but Blossom is there with a quadruple kill. Absolutely ridiculous performance coming up from Blossom so far, and now Ursa Boy is just going to stall for as long as they possibly can, but it's hard to stall the Lucio when there's a 4 right there. But the Shatter comes out, finds 4, is the follow-up there, while MJ goes down first, and both teams are now fighting on point. 5 on 5 so far, but another huge Shatter, nobody's blocking Shatters, everybody's hitting triangles, this is wonderful work. Anchor and Owl finding a kill apiece as well, Blossom continuing to make a meal out of Asler so far. Great work coming out from both Reboot over here as Jack is just in the backline doing the best to style up, but eventually does get taken down. It's OT, and it looks like Lionhardt are going to have a very good chance of holding on to this, but not if Drunk Lion is going to have anything to say about this. The ball spinning and spinning and spinning, and not too much CC really to deal with him. Drunk Lion eventually gets taken extremely low. The grab comes out, but can anybody touch? Oh, the blitz of the distance going to be massive, absolutely winnable. Jack is just there, takes down MJ, takes down Blossom. Asler is looking to kill as well before they get taken down as well. It's just a Reaper on point now. Moira, Lucio versus a Reaper, and eventually Bean wins that one out, and Lionhardt gets control of the point and takes the map.
I mean, that very end and the mid fight and in the middle there as well. It was just a battle of who can carry the hardest. Will it be the Reinhardt? Will it be the Reapers? I mean, it was just going back and forth between Blossom, Drunk, and Jackish, and you know, Grand Slam. It was just going back and forth between them. It was just, you know, who can hit a fat Shatter, who can just kill the most. Great stuff, great stuff.
I think a key part here is that 4Sight's gained control of the point at 0.99, so they had to play that round perfectly. And Ken Dog summed it up perfectly. Ursa used Beat to counter a Coalescence. I mentioned this briefly when it happened as well, but the Coalescence came up from Lionhardt, so 4Sights also used Coalescence, but at the same time the Beat was deployed as well, and yeah, that's a pretty rough one. And it does look like I've been spending this entire map getting my teams mixed up. So it's Lionhardt 1, 4Sight 0. I apologize, chat. But yeah, I think that was a big turning point, because if you have that beat going on the side of 4Sights, and then Jackish comes in later with that sound barrier, with the Blossom, then it's going to be a very, very different conversation if you had hung on to that sound barrier there.
It's you said it backwards, by the way. It's 4Sight 1, Lionhardt 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I can't read.
Yeah, I didn't pass the 6th grade. It's fine. I'm in the same boat. I'm just trying to fix some controls because something was messing up for me. Sorry about that. I think that's alright.
So, big performances coming out from Jackish and Blossom, the two Reaper players for their respective teams, and I'm surprised to see not too much Reaper counterplay coming out, because when you have Reaper players as good as Jackish and Blossom, maybe you're saving a lot of Sigma rocks for them, maybe you switch to a Diva for the Matrix, a Break Shield Bash, but Blossom and Jackish were just kind of left to run rampant on the backline here, CB.
Yeah, and you had, I mean, we saw it in the kill feed. Blossom ran rampant, killing just member after member on Lionheart, whether it's with a Death Blossom or just straight up with the shotguns. I mean, both Reapers have just been running rampant, and I mean, at this point, it's like, well, obviously Blossom got the better of Jackish and the rest of Lionheart, so I have a feeling you might see some sort of Reaper counter coming in. It depends on what map Lionheart decides to pick, of course. Okay, so we are gonna have some swaps. We have Blizzard World being confirmed as well.
Blizzard World, very interesting pick here. Maybe with a sniper player hidden somewhere in this party that's about to dominate point A.
Perhaps. I don't really know who's a hit scan for either team, but I do love seeing sniper gameplay. I mean, that's just what that's what I play normally, anyways. You know, you catch me on Widow Ash or even Soldier now, because Soldier's kind of a sniper now. If you guys haven't seen the new experimental card, he's just kind of gross to play. But yeah, we also have Snivy for Oreo, Omega for Azlair, and I believe that is all.
I think Omega coming in could be a hint that that's the sniper player, as Jackish so far we've seen on a lot of the flank heroes and the brawl heroes, so it's going to be interesting to see the hero picks comes up. Blizzard World is a mix and match. So point A is a lot of snipers, but it does feel brawly, even though that sightline is so long, just because there isn't, except for that one ledge on the right side, as an attacking team, there really isn't too much dive that you're able to run super well. But point B, all through Streets phase, is a wonderful dive map. So it'll be interesting to see if Lionhardt and 4Sight over here just find some kind of hybrid and make it work, or if they're going to trust themselves to play entirely different compositions throughout a map as they push through.
Yeah, I mean, snipers are really only, like long range anyways, are really only superbly good in the first point. Once you get to Streets and that little enclosure at the end of it, if you're gonna still play hit scan, you might as well run maybe consider Soldier or McCree at that point, because the sightline is long, yes, but most of the teams are playing underneath, so it's going to be really hard to get a sightline without anyone going on top and just picking you off. So,
speaking of CV, what about these experimental changes, chat? Soldier might be absolutely broken.
Yeah, in case you guys are living under a rock or something, basically, Soldier got a new buff. It's basically a buff. His current gun has spread on it. After the first, I believe, 6 shots is all hit scan, and then it starts getting into this bloom RNG spread, kind of like Tracer's guns. But now it is basically a Valorant CS:GO gun, where you have to control the recoil going up. So start pushing that right stick down a little bit, and it's all hit scan. It's just all straight shots. So you have to just control the recoil, which is pretty easy if you've played Valorant or CS:GO, of course. But anyways, we're going straight into... Oh wait, we're not going to Blizzard World just yet. I think we're waiting on people. Excuse me. Oh, by the way, Charles, which cam gets me into the free cam? I forgot which one is that.
Well, mine are all mixed up. So my up button on the D-pad is what does it for me. And on my different accounts, like a square. It's honestly not great.
Which one is that one called, though?
Free cam, I think?
I don't think it's called free cam.
Uh-oh. We're just working through some settings right now. I think Femi and CB are running into similar issues. But, yeah, I think I heard a really, really good suggestion. I think this was on Plat Chat in Blizzard World. Since Blizzard World kind of like breaks the fourth wall in many ways as a map, we should put the Overwatch League winners in Blizzard World. Like with
True.
like the Overwatch League trophies and like the winning teams.
Yeah, you could
Just an
definitely do
idea.
that.
Not my idea, I stole it, but now I get to say it out loud.
I mean, especially with the what's it called, the posters and the little billboards that are in Blizzard World, you can definitely do that. You could also just make it pretty obvious and replace like the main statue with like a big trophy or something. Okay, I got free cam back.
Nice. Just replace the statue with Sinatra. We'll be fine.
Yeah, the holy grail of Sinatra. Or Super, whichever one.
The lads are out of quarantine, CB. We got super funny Astro and Tayo all on their Instagram running around on the streets of Korea.
Oh, they lifted that? Okay, that's weird. I thought they were just gonna keep in their quarantine for a while.
Yeah. And it's been 2 weeks.
Sick.
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, well, we see this dive coming through from the side of 4Sight, so very, very interesting place here. Do you think they'll stick on this?
I genuinely think that they will, yeah. Especially given the Ashe Genji instead of an Ashe Tracer. Oh, wow, okay. MJ, don't tease me like that. But it looks like Lionhardt are going to start with a Reinhardt D.Va. D.Va maybe just to contest that high ground a little bit, along with Jackish and Omega. I think with a composition like this, the only person that's going to be really helping Reinhardt too much is going to be Snivy on the Ana. So if you're able to run that Reinhardt over, that's going to be a really, really easy win, because not a lot of these heroes are really good at helping out on the front line. So it's about Drunk Lion finding ways to position himself to keep their team safe, but mostly to keep your Reinhardt shield up and ready to go. So it looks like, yep, they are staying onto the dive. 4Sight just coming here, not jumping in. Like we said, this is a really brawly meta of the dive competition. As the hack comes out from MJ and Jackish gets taken down very, very early. A great start on the attack on the side of 4Sight.
Yeah, as you can see, MJ's on the Sombra, which can provide some value if you hack the Reinhardt, which, I mean, they just dive straight on him. I guess that works too.
That dive was executed so much like a brawl, CB.
Yeah, it really did seem like a brawl. They just kind of went straight into Ryan's face and messed up the entire team. I mean, you'd think they'd play with Zarya with this at this point, but no. Drunk Lion opts for the mirror. Doesn't stick on the Reinhardt for too long. So yeah, it should be a tactical reset for everyone. Back to square one for Drunk.
Yeah, Drunk Lion back over to the Monkey as well. You're going to be a little bit behind. Oh my goodness, but Jack just takes down Blossom really early on, so maybe going for an aggressive defense here, but a lovely res coming out. Nobody touching that Mercy. Omega doing their best to fire from Kojka, but to no avail. The Coalescence comes out from B, layered on top of Iroh's Valkyrie over here, as it looks like it's a pretty even fight right now. Both teams 4 heroes in the fight. The support ultimate just keep everybody alive as Omega throws Bob directly onto the point. No shields there, so Blossom is just forced to hide behind the payload. But it's working. As the Bob does take down the Mercy player, but not before King Selena is absolutely deleted here. A little bit messy dive here coming from Lionhardt, but I mean, it ended up being a 4-on-4, 3-on-3 fight, but eventually 4Sight Zoo, they do come out on top, and losing this first fight is going to be really painful for Lionhardt, because down this even further back on their ult advantage. Just to say that Jackish comes out with the blade, finds 2 despite being EMP. That's absolutely massive, but the Jet of Anchor takes down Jackish, and the rest is there for B and for Drunk Lion as well.
Yeah, huge picks from Bean going into that first dive on the Coalescence, finding a couple. Of course, you have Blossom finishing off the Monkey, which ended up being rest. But huge plays from Grand Slam, just taking out 2 with the Primal. Insane Monkey tech, but gets stopped by that.
Yeah, Drunk Lion now back on point here without your Monk. Okay, so you do have a Bob coming out here, as the Bob's going to put a lot of pressure on that backline as 4Sight is able to push forward here. So close to that point B capture. This is a really tough point to contest, as I really hate contesting this one on Blizzard World. makes me very unhappy. Drunkline is in the backline though, takes down Bean with the Primal Rage here, as Lionhardt might just close this one out and be able to halt the card.
They get the
just like saying that. Yeah, Anchor and Grand Slam both finding kill in piece. Your tank like carrying here as Bean and Blossom using that space created to capture point B. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here on the clock. On the set of 4Sights, they've been contested, but they definitely haven't been stopped so far this map.
Yeah, huge shout out to the Mercy for 4Sight Averlo, sorry. But I mean, just resing that Moira time after time, it was just Bean was just able to build up that coalescence, and you saw how big it was at the end of that push to second point. The coalescence comes in, and everyone just spreads out because they don't want to get caught in the line of sight of it, and you know, it just forces bad positioning. And speaking of that,
great work from Blossom and pretty bullish reds here coming out from Ursa, but they do eventually make it work. D-Mac comes in into King's Lena over as well as Bob gets hacked. MJ just putting in so much work, but eventually the Dynamite does take them down and they are forced it back. And when that's really the first time today on Blizzard World, Lionhardt will be able to gain some control of the card and stop the bleeding. But the EMP is ready as well as the Bob, and if you're on the side of 4Sight, do you just commit to the EMP Bob or do you wait until the bomb is ready as well?
yeah, I think you just kind of throw the Bob and EMP, because I mean they don't really have anything. I mean, especially the drunk being down.
Alright, the EMP finds 3, and crucially he finds Jackish, so the blade is definitely not available right now, but Jackish does stay safe, and the moment the EMP expires, the blade comes out, doesn't find anybody, well, we won't wait to find out, but before the Blossom, oh my goodness, takes down Jackish, the blade is cancelled, and does look like 4Sight to start to roll the cart into the end zone over here, but not if, oh my goodness, if not if Drunkline has anything to say about the Anchor Monkey, takes down Anchor, though, great work over here with the Primal Rate, and the tech is there to keep juggling Grand Slam Gamer in the backline over here, and eventually does take them down. Great clutch one coming out from Lionhardt over here, especially from Drunk Lion over here, doing so good to get a double kill when Jackish went down mid-played. Absolutely wonderful defensive work over here. To be honest, didn't expect that to work, but here we are. Crucially on the side of 4Sights though, MJ walks away from that fight with 53% charge on their EMP.
Huge clutch from Bean with the coalescence, pressuring out the Genji in them, and then Blossom just getting that, you know, beautiful shot to finish it off. It was just, I mean, they should have really won that fight, but that Bob from Omega really clutched up.
So the bomb comes out, but the bomb tosses Anchor's neck off the map, so the oh my goodness, so you don't even have the mini demon to work with here. So it does look like 4Sight are going to have to back out yet again, but just as since the bomb comes tossed in, ends up in a really awkward position, so Bob's just guarding the choke, guarding Spawn over here. Jack has taken up MJ, but MJ is 9% away from an EMP. That could be absolutely massive. The Coalescence finds Blossom as well, and Arrow uses the Valkyrie very early here. Not sure if that's a decision I really vibe with, but 4Sight are going to be able to regroup as Blossom respawns.
Very unfortunate Bob placement. It did put Omega and Drunk into spawn for a little bit longer, but I mean, some of the team was dead for 4Sight, so they really couldn't capitalize on that. So rather unfortunate Bob placement for Blossom. Betting they can... I'm back.
Alright, so the Demon Bomb comes in and the EMP is absolutely massive, finds, nobody actually. Really good work from Lionhardt to hide over here, but the bomb does take a snivy. Grand Slam Gamer and Bean over here putting in so much work, and that's undeniable. 4Sight wiping with a team wipe over here as they do close this out with 36 seconds remaining. That being said, I feel like Lionhardt could be really proud of their performance here, especially in C, right? A and B were really rough, but once they got into castle phase, they won 2-3 fights in a row and burned the clock from 4.5 minutes to just 36 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, if I were them, I wouldn't be too upset about that performance right there. Honestly, with the way things are going, they could have capped that with, 4 minutes left. It was looking rough, but they pulled it together, found the right answers for that combo. I mean, you had Blossom had to switch to that McCree, which ended up working because you had the flashbang to stun and hold them there for just a little bit longer to finish off targets. So nice adaptation from Blossom, but it is a very, very winnable situation for Lionhardt now with that amazing defense. So we'll see how this attack is strung together. We'll see if they can cap, or if 4Sight will just hold them to nothing. We'll see. Okay, so we have the Orisa Sigma. I said Orisa was like a turret. Her shield is still pretty bad though, so this is a risky play coming from 4Sight. It's very, very risky. We'll see if this pays off.
But with the turret, so with the damage lineup coming out of Hanzo and Ash with MJ and Blossom over here, that is so much spam damage coming out on the side of 4Sight, and with the dive of Lionhardt, unless it's paths perfectly, they end up taking a lot of damage and have to expend a lot of resources just to top everybody up before they're even able to engage. So we're really excited to see how that plays out. And I think the onus here, it's down to Blossom and MJ to hit shots as the dive comes in. If you're able to do that, then Grand Slam Gamer is going to have a pretty solid time staying alive, because look at how tanky Orisa is. Look at all that armor she has. That's going to be a tank battle that is going to be hard for Drunk Lion and King Selena to win out as they deal tiny amounts of chip damage. But Omega over here takes down Beam nice and early on. So just like last round, the attacking team finding some really early picks. Oh my goodness, the res is denied, and just 4Sight's without the tank line, without the support lineup over here, and it does look like Lionhardt just going to stroll onto the point.
Very, very huge denial of the res coming through from 4Sight. I don't really, I'll be honest, I don't remember who got the final blow on it, but it was like a group effort. You had the Dynamite, the Winston, and the D.Va just in there, just praying that they kill the Mercy before the res comes off, and, you know, when it did happen, when they did deny the res, it just ended up collapsing the entire team of 4Sight. So very, very good heads-up play to deny that res from Lionhardt right there.
So it looks like the tanks are just taking turns diving up onto this turret to deny each other high ground, but Grand Slam, I think, takes a spill back into spawn, and Angel gets stunned up as well, and are forced to back up. So looks a really good push for Lionhardt so far, as 4Sight might have to wait until the very last second of streaks to recontest here.
Yeah, very, very bad snowball coming here. I mean, with Grand Slam getting picked off so fast, it's just very unfortunate for that to happen, and it's just still happening. It's still happening. They haven't been able to take a fight.
Omega setting Bob out from the middle of nowhere, ends up right in the middle, right in the middle of the backline here of Lionhardt, and does end up forcing that Mercy away. Yeah, the snowball potential is even stronger than last time. 5.5 minutes instead of 4.5 minutes. This is ridiculous. Nobody wants to defend. Just give me OT. Give me round 3. Give me round 4.
Yeah, I mean, they're finally getting the pick on the King, and I mean, that was just a horrible snowball. But now they're able to just hang in there, and yeah, they finally got some footing in this defense.
I think this tells you how desperately 4Sight want control of the payload here, because they gotten 2 early picks, and as soon as the rest is coming up, they sent Bob in to confirm the win here. They really were tired of being snowballed.
Yeah, but now you have you know, ultimates coming up from both sides. More ultimates coming for Lionhardt, so it's gonna be a very hard fight for 4Sight to win, so you know, we'll see how this goes.
Alright, so the bomb comes out onto the backline, doesn't find anybody? No. Anchor is there though with a double kill, and King Selena, after throwing that bomb out, is not afforded an opportunity to reconnect.
I do like this Reaper swap from Blossom. They understand that they don't really have anything to deal with the Reapers, so other than, you know, potential one taps from Omega with the help of Ursa Boy. So I mean, you have that, but you have to rely so much on the hit scan to get the pick. And as you can see, Blossom is just bullying Drunk Lion into this corner, but now he's going in.
And Bob, that's an awkward position for Bob to be in. But able to pressure the backline though, funnily enough. The bomb comes through, doesn't find anybody, just creates a little bit of space. Blossom takes down Snibby though, as MJ goes down as well. Both teams missing. Okay, great stick from Jackish, takes down the Mercy player as Alro can't res themselves over here. Once again, a really messy play coming out here from both teams. Once again, and when you play the dive, a lot of times it's just about once you get the first pick, just throwing bodies in the right position. So a lot of times as a caster, you don't quite know where to look. But Bean takes down Drunk Lion though. Drunk Lion maybe a little bit over aggressive over here. We saw them jump in there. Into like 3 or 4 players, and of course the Monkey does have cleave potential, but that's not why you play Monkey. Bean and Blossom do manage to stabilize as well. I feel like if Drunk Lion had just played a little safer there, they might be closing in on the point by now. But either ways, they're 2.5 minutes ahead on Time Bank, and they have the time to build the ults to push forward. As MJ switches over to the Sombra CB, who is the hack target we're looking at here?
Okay, the hack target you're looking for is King, so you can deny the D Matrix, and also there's also Jackish as well, so you can stop the blink. It's gonna be hard to hack Jackish as well, but it is possible. But King is your main hack target.
Alright, Drunk Lion gets taken down as Blossom unleashes the Death Blossom. King Selena, oh no, D-Max hacked and then shoved up against the wall by the Primal Rage, and it is a full reset coming out, but not before an exit pick comes out onto Beam though. I think a lot of trigger discipline there for Lionhardt to come in. I mean, that's an eco push I've ever seen one. Jackish and Ursa Boy do manage to charge up their ults mid-fight, but don't use it, and now we have Selena and Drunk Lion coming up online at basically 6 outs coming online for Lionhardt.
Yeah, you also got the DMAC on the anchor, so it's gonna be a free push, and yep, there it is. And here comes the Coalescence. They pushed into the backline, they flanked him, and they caught him off guard right here.
The Coalescence is used first here, and the Tracer Pulse Bomb comes out to deal so much damage to the opposition. And oh no! Okay, Blossom makes it. Blossom got tossed off the map, but while they're still floating down towards their death, they hit that Reaper teleporter. So we're still committing over here, but Drunk Lion gets taken down early yet again. That one's gotta hurt, as Anchor is there doing so much damage in the back line. The bomb comes out into the back. Ursa Boy gets taken down. So you are still in the left of the fighting chance. You're on the side of 4Sight.
Huge bomb.
Selena, though, an absolutely massive bomb. The damage potential completely destroyed. Well placed back over here as Bean takes out Omega as well, and this full stall territory on the side of Lionhardt. The ball comes out from Anchor, swing around as ooh, that's going to be tough. And the EMP comes out, finds 3. Jackish and Drunk Lion both caught in Lion so low. Can they get finished off? No, because Snivy is there with so much healing. They're going to be able to hang on to this. And
C9!
Oh my goodness, that's a C9. That's not even like a half C9 where you wipe half the team. That's a full C9 CB.
Oh my god, King absolutely clutched it for that team right there. Not only did they get, I believe, a 4K in that fight, or a 5K, but they also C9'd the point. Oh, King just is out of their mind right now. Oh my gosh. Just imagine wiping out almost, the entire team and then just C9ing them whenever they all respawn. That was a huge blow for 4Sight. They had that fight. It was theirs to lose, and they just didn't touch the point.
That's a tough one. King Selena with the back cap. That's great work. And on the defense, we have Lionhardt with not too long to hold. Eventually, the time bank does end up being quite even here as we see the double barrier come out again.
I do like this comp with the Junkrat. You're hoping that they mirror the double barrier, but it isn't bad if you have the Winston Diva, because if the Diva doesn't come in time to help out the Winston, you can just boop them away with the mines from Jackish. So I do like this, as well as the traps. Hopefully you catch the Sombra on the trap. Very unlikely, but it is possible for that to happen.
Where did it go wrong last time, CB? Because both attacks are basically both point A attacks were rolls.
Yeah, I think it was just, the first pick coming from the, a huge first pick onto either support or a tank, and then that just kind of crumbles the whole team at that point if the Mercy isn't able to res or gets denied from the res. Yeah, that happened twice, so as long as this doesn't happen again, Yeah, nothing to worry about, but
So super creative passing coming down here, but Blossom does eat a rock to the face and eventually gets taken down. But really creative passing coming out from Forces, wrapping all the way around, but Omega gets double kill really early on. Anchor and MJ though answer back as Bean gets a kill onto Snivy as well. This could just be the point capture coming through. Bean getting so much work done on the Lucio, and the creative pass takes a little more time, but it does end up buying them that high ground over here. As we see, 4Sight were able to set up over here on the high ground behind the point, and even if you lose Blossom early on with the superior positioning, you're able to cap the point. It is OT though. Remember, you don't get extra time and checkpoints here in OT, so all Lionhardt need to do is to win one fight.
Yeah, like I said, same thing happened. They were winning in the fight, but as soon as King dropped, you didn't have anything to just eat up some of that damage, and everyone else just fell because everyone else just was vulnerable. You know, the Arista shield isn't as strong anymore, so you just have to rely on the
because Ursa Boy is finding picks over here. Really good work coming out. As I believe they're 6-on-4 right now. Blossom coming out from the spawn though, eventually making it back. Arrow there with the Coalescence, forcing a little bit of positioning to come out from Lionhardt and to drop back, but the tire finds Arrow, cancels the Coalescence, and Omega finds Grand Slam Hammer as well. Grand without gamer, you're without your main tank and without a lot of sustainability. Selena over here, a textbook Sigma display, doing so well with the E, doing so well with the shields and the rocks, and eventually with a triple kill to close out this defense.
King has just been absolutely clutch this map in Blizzard World. I mean, from the C9 plus the 4K in that fight, as well as the huge Sigma play to just, you know, clutch up the defense. King has been playing very, very well, but it's going to be a very, very tall order to ask them to not only cap, but, you know, get, you know, a little bit of progress onto that payload. It's very doable, especially since both defenses on first point just haven't been it. You know, it very much is possible for Lionhardt to squeak this one out, but maybe 4Sight has some sort of crazy wonky strat they can try to just stop that from happening.
Well, 4Sights right now, they look a little bit undetermined on what they want to play. Look a little shaky as Grand Slam Gamer have yet to choose, but it does look like Anchor has settled on the Zarya. Alright, so the Rein Zarya brawl does come out, and this is going to be really interesting to see how well they're able to protect their backline, because MJ on the Ashe is really, well, no, MJ switches, are they going to be able to get to the point on time, CV?
I have no clue. Yeah, barely. I mean, Sombra's very fast, so yeah.
But 4Sight's over here, the way they're playing, this composition, that there aren't really any clear and present dive targets. So it'll be really interesting to see if Lionhardt ends up, you know, just kind of chasing shadows all day, or worse, being forced to dive into a full 6-stack of bodies.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see who they decide to dive. Unless perhaps Omega can get the first pick, and yeah, they do!
Boy, Omega does get the first pick, and there's no mercy, so there's no reds over here, so it does look like they're gonna have a 6-on-5 advantage for now, and the dive now collapses onto the backline, the Moira and the Lucio being burned down so low, but the healing is there for everybody, as MJ is there halfway through an EMP already, but Jack is taking down Anchor though, so you're losing a lot of your damage output and a lot of tankiness. Speaking of, the Reinhardt goes down as well. Drunk Lion over here just zipping back and forth on point, doing so much damage, really utilizing the cleave of the monkey, and just like we mentioned earlier, this dive is really executed more like a brawl.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the pick from Omega was very, very huge, because you deny that Echo from bursting down the shields, and the energy beam as well, the focus beam I should say, is just burning everything down, everything half health, including the shields. It's just pretty big as a first pick. But now
so
Blossom's going to be on that
McCree here. And we're going to, I think, the win condition here is trying to get MJ's EMP online here. They're 86% and counting. Blossom switching over to the Kree as well. The flashbang just to keep Jackish as Tracer on in check. The Shadow comes out, finds a double, cancels the Coalescence as well. The Jackish there gets the stick onto Bean with the pulse bomb. Blossom gets again by Omega as well. The Grand Slam Gamer is doing so much damage to the backline. Takes out both the 4-second framework. That's exactly what you want from your Reinhardt player in this clutch moment. MJ with a lovely EMP. Anchor is taken down, but has the grab online if that is necessary. The next something coming online is probably Jackass with another pulse bomb. And this could be looking tough as nobody's able to contest. And that is a great map and a great win coming up from Lionhardt as they tie up the series 1-1.
Huge clutch plays coming from Lion and Omega there at the end with, I mean, Jackish as well just played pretty well, but, I mean, you have that, yeah, here it is, but you have the stick onto the Mercy, so there it is. Oh no, it was on the Lucio. My bad, you denied the beat. That's what happened to the beat.
Oh my goodness, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, but Omega just threw the bob in there and hoped and prayed it just contested point, but it was just enough for Omega to just pressure out people from their own backline, and Lion pushing in Gamer into the line of sight of the bob, which is able to finish him off, and you know, pretty big plays right there at the end from from Lionhardt to just clutch it up and win the map. So now we are 1-1. All right, 1-1 in the series. Very interesting to see if 4Sight takes this anywhere special. I'm not sure where we would go, honestly, for the assault map, I believe.
A lot of people predicting in chat a 4Sight's 4-0, but Lionheart do manage to rally back. But like you said, anybody's guess as to where we are going next. If I had to choose for 4Sight, I mean, 4Sight's, I just feel like maybe the dive isn't their bread and butter. So they might go somewhere where the brawl is more playable.
Yeah, so you'd probably want to go for Volskaya here. Or Hanamura. Which looks like they do pick Hanamura. So,
Wonderful.
you know.
CB, you want to take a quick bio break? I'm going to ask you to fill some time. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay, so we have no swaps coming in from the side of 4Sight, and we have, for the side of Lionheart, we have Jackish being swapped out for Aslair. So we're going to have a DPS swap. Should be interesting. I think Jackish played very, very well. Maybe this is some sort of strat if they want to run, maybe... I don't know. Maybe Aslair is just a good Sombra player, perhaps, and they want to run that Sombra. So so yeah, that could be what they want to do, or perhaps they want to run maybe some sort of like double hit scan, or maybe Hanzo Ash is something they might consider. Well, what is that? Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be all the swaps, just double checking. But we have Lionheart with the ready, and we'll see if 4Sight has the readies. So yeah, it's a very, very close series. Sorry, I cannot see chat. I'm focusing on the match chat for our Discord. So I don't know what people are saying. But it's a very, very close series. That last map could have gone either way if perhaps Omega was killed in that mid fight and wasn't able to get the bob off. That could have been GG, go next, but of course that did not happen. So, I mean, it was just very, very well played for Lionheart right there to just stay alive and, you know, find their pick.
I think... as a caster and entertainer, what bodes well for me from that Blizzard World was how close all these fights were, especially once we got into either Castle or those clutch picks right at the end of OT. These teams are pushing each other extremely close, and when the margin of error, where you're just winning on sticking a pulse bomb just like that second earlier than they expected. Because if that pulse bomb stick comes out a little bit later, the beat gets connected, and maybe Lionheart don't clutch that out. And the fact that we're all in such fine margins here really gives me, it really gets me pretty hyped about how the rest of this series is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, we did have a lot of 4-0s in the chat being predicted. Of course, that did not happen, and I know all the 4Sight people are hoping that that was just a fluke, because I did see in the match chat that they just don't win Blizzard World for some reason. So, maybe we see a 4-1 perhaps, is what all the 4Sight fans are hoping for. But Hanamura is definitely an interesting choice. You can go a lot of different ways about this. You can decide to run the double shield. You can run the Sigma Rhine perhaps, or just straight up the Rhine Zarya, which is probably the preferred way to play this map, if I had to guess. There's a lot of different ways you can brawl in this map or bunker down.
Give me the Symmetra play, CB. That's all I want to see here.
Yeah, you can go for some Symmetra cheese. I played that on this map. I was the one who was the Symmetra boy, pretty much. Just TPing the entire team, setting up the turrets, and just lasering people. Always fun to do, getting that nice 4Ks in there.
For the entirety of our regular season, my team's specialty was running the teleporter Bastion on Hanamura A. You can imagine how well that went down in scrims.
I mean, you could work, probably not, but it's a very cheese kind of meme strat. But I would be very surprised if we see that, I'll be honest. But you never know. I've seen some weird stuff being ran in a lot of 2CP maps. I've seen the dive on Volskaya, legendary. I've also seen some Torb on like Temple of Anubis and stuff in some of the cast I've done. So
I remember I played against in my first ever competitive Overwatch game. I was playing Orisa on Kings Row, and point A we saw Zarya. We saw Ball Zarya come out on point A attack, but this was back in March. So this was before Ball Zarya was meta or even a thing like you ever saw. And so that was probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen come out.
Hello.
Was a pre-meta Ball Zarya.
2CP is a very, very weird kind of thing where you can get away with a lot of stuff that you really, really can't in a lot of different map types. That is, you can get away with a lot of junk rat. But yeah, we see Azlair actually on the Pharah. Very, very interesting right here.
Lovely Bionic coming out from Sniv over here as Drunkline takes down MJ really early on. So the Sombra without the translocated to get out of trouble, and Aldair over here just going to lay down so much damage with those rockets. Really absolutely no way of countering that Pharah right now. Unless MJ gets a really ambitious hack off, Azlair is just going to live rent-free up there.
I do like this. I do like the Ana pick right here. You can really deny Blossom and some of the other, tankier targets from getting that healing that they need. So I do like that pick.
Yeah, the Ana pick is going to do a lot of work to keep Blossom suppressed, as we've seen so far today. Blossom on a good day playing Reaper is easily a carry pick. So you're going to divert some resources that way. And speaking of Snivy, the Bionade comes out, takes down Arrow, and melee onto Anchor as well, burning a lot of time off the clock already. A lovely, lovely start coming out on the side of 4Sight.
You do love to see the 2K, perhaps even the 3K coming from Ana. It's just so fun to see Ana actually frag for once. But yeah, like I said, the Ana pick is very, very good, but I mean it can be dived very easily. You have so many dive characters, it's just kind of scary if you're an Ana here.
Alright, so the Primal Rage is popped out alongside the bomb. No picks are being found here though. As Anchor takes down Omega's Bob over here, and the counter dive comes in. The D.Va bomb straight into the backline, though the beat connects as Azlair decides to rain out the Farage. Doesn't quite find anybody. Ever takes down Azlair. Another bomb coming out, still not finding anybody. Blossom takes down Frontline, and that's exactly the matchup you want. You want your Reaper up against the Monkey because that's just a farm fest. We have MJ taking out Ursa as well, because it does look like the point is now wide open for 4Sight to walk away with.
Yeah, as soon as Azlair dies, you really don't have that pressure from the Pharah anymore, and it's just that free reign to just go and take out the tanks. You don't have that fear of Pharah just splashing you down with those rockets. So very nice pick, coming through. kind of,
I think.
you know, suicided from
no.
that.
MJ goes for a not so subtle teleporter here and gets decloaked really, really quickly from some spam from Azlair, and it does look like 4Sights are forced to back up. I think the key here was 4Sights played it extremely intelligently when Omega and Drunk Lion committed ultimate. We saw the Primal Rage and the Bob come out, and the way 4Sights is able to kite back and take that pressure, and as soon as those ults ended, the initiation and aggression there was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, 100%. But now here we see the fight starting to engage right here. We have the Nano onto the D.Va. Very interesting.
The Nano onto the D.Va gives me a decay on D.Va vibes. But so we have the Primal Rage popped again by Drunk Lion, but ends up being once again taking so much damage. But a huge Bionade coming out from Snippy as well. Blossom and Grand Slam Gamer denied their healing as Azlair finds a triple kill. What's going to really hurt there is that MJ had the EMP at the end of point 8 and still hasn't been able to pop it. It's been 2 fights. A good Sombra can charge an entire EMP on 2 fights. That's a full ult cycle right there. And so MJ now not competing against a fellow Sombra, but that's still I feel like that's going to be a little bit of a bummer. But the way that Lionhardt are positioned, I'm struggling to think of a way that this EMP gets a lot of value.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of tough to see that. I mean, there's the EMP right there.
The EMP comes out along with the Death Blossom MP coming down from Bean as well. So the 3 ultimates committed the D.Va bomb off point here just to zone everybody off here. Great job from Blossom with the raid format as well. MJ takes an Omega though, and the snowball does start to begin, and the hack comes out onto Snivy and Ana as they're just trying their best to get away from Monkey, but Grand Slam Gamer has other plans for them here. Drunk Lion just here at the bottom as well, doing their best to stall out the point as a oh wow, okay, so a Death Blossom coming out from Azlair as well, who was able to charge in the last fight after the triple kill, but the Anchor is there with the Matrix. Eventually does end up being D-Mech though, and Azlair is now free to rain down damage. Not just that, we have Omega on the high ground as well, putting shot after shot after shot into the enemy as Lionhardt do manage to hold him to this point. Impressively enough, not even giving up a tick. And if unless I'm mistaken, I believe that 4Sight committed 6 ultimates there throughout that entire fight. So really, really good work from Lionhardt to hold on when they really had no right to. Not only that, they have the Primal Range and the Nano Boost ready to go.
I really, really like that Baptiste swap to save, to save the Winston and, throw out that immortality field for the Reaper to Death Blossom safely. That was a nice little swap coming back. Very, very subtle too.
So the Nano Boost is committed out here as King Selena gets D-Mech really quickly and absolutely deleted as the EMP connects. Azlair does survive the EMP though, and eventually takes Anchor out of the mech as well, as they do finally manage to secure a tick, as King Selena now switching over onto the ball to stall as Drunk Lion isn't able to do much work. The ball slams down, but oh my goodness, the Death Blossom is there and it's doing so much damage to your favorite overweight hamster here, as Aelro is there with the Coalescence as well, putting out so much damage and so much pressure, and Lionhardt are able to contest the point. But that being said, I think Lionhardt did a really good job holding on for so long there.
Very, very nice defense from them. They were able to, hold them out for so long. I believe they had like 4 minutes to fight that. Plus, they had EMP for like 2 of those fights. Like it felt like they really should have lost a lot sooner. But very, very clutch plays coming out from the support line and from the DPS, as well as the nice contest from the Wrecking Ball as well, to just stay on the point, stay alive, and hope to turn it with a couple of picks. And I mean, they're able to hold them off for so long. So it'll be very interesting to see if Lionhardt will cap with any time or just cap with. A lot of time compared to 4Sight. So we'll see if they decide to run. I do see Drunk on that Winston again.
Yeah, the Strike Line plays the Winston in a really interesting way. I think that both these teams like I said, playing really brawly dive styles, and one client just enjoys playing that front line and kind of relying on the Diva Matrix to keep themselves safe from Blossom's Reaper here, but we see Blossom on the Echo now. This is a wide hero pool I've ever seen one.
The Echo's gonna find it very hard to just survive because you have Omega just trying to blast them down, but also Azlair. Pharah's a lot faster now, so it's gonna be tougher for the Echo to win this duel. So we'll see how this one plays out. I do like Azlair on that Pharah though.
Yeah, Azlair's been putting on a lot of good work onto the Pharah, so not surprised to see them replicated as we see Blossom just taking a really safe angle in the backline as Echo, choosing not to take too many of these angles here as Frontline takes down B nice and early on, and Azlair takes down Elro as well. Looks like 4Sight will be without their support over here as Lionhardt starts to make their push onto the point.
Yeah, very nice picks on these supports. Was able to just take them out and, as soon as they drop, it's just hard for the rest of the team to sustain because the Winston just dies so fast without any support. So does the Diva without the D-Matrix. So, I mean, well, I guess King is swapping because just all off the map. Don't know what that was.
Really wanted their mech back there and was not willing to wait for it. The Bunny Blaster is overrated, boys and girls. So it looks like MJ is close to an EMP, and that's an easy fight win, especially on defense if you have that EMP in hand. So I'm curious to see how Lionhardt decides to crack this open as Frontline gets chunked down so low. But the support is there, and Snippy. Oh my goodness, Alzir gets taken down as well. Blossom finding shots after switching onto the Ashe as the Grand Slam game are going on with a really early engagement over here, even before they're able to get indoors. Not at all what I expected to see here, but hey, it's working, and that shows why I'm not playing in this matchup. Anchor over here really close to a Diva Bomb as well as we're getting closer and closer to a full triangle party on both teams with 12 ultimates online.
Oh, there's the EMP!
Yep, the EMP finds 4, but Azlair is there in the background as well. Takes on Blossom with the barrage. A really chaotic fight here, and I'm really surprised with that EMP engagement given how aggressive and how forward that was. And, well, it worked out, so I'm not going to complain. MJ really took me for a ride there. Really wasn't expecting the EMP to come out in such an aggressive position there, especially since that there's so many situations in which you can get value out of that EMP, but MJ did a great job there making sure their team followed up with that EMP, and it does look like a full reset coming out from Lionhardt.
I am surprised that the barrage was committed. I guess it's because Azlair wanted to swap as soon as possible, but I could have used it a little bit wisely, but there's the Nano Reaper.
Not just the Nano Reaper, but the point cap bomb, CB, as Lionhardt is committing the primal rage to just back everybody around the point. Does the bomb find anybody? No. But zoning does get everybody off point, and they do get a tick offline. Now Lionhardt is scrambling to regain point control. Omega takes an error though as Azlair takes down Grand Slam Gamer as well. And of course, I might just have to back up there because they're missing their monkey, but they still have a main tank because Anchor switched over onto the Reinhardt. Just a sliver of health remaining, and they do manage to hold on here. 4Sight's doing a great work to scramble and recontest after Omega puts a really cheeky bomb straight down, straight down the middle to contest the point.
Yeah, I do like Azlair's play on the Reaper. The bomb was a nice little zoning bomb, able to find a tick from that, as well as the DMAC on the Anchor. I mean, they did everything right. It's just, 2 CP, but they did get the tick, so it is a very nice start for this attack.
And MJ has that EMP online again, getting ready to set up. We see the Som right now. Okay, teleporting onto the high ground. Do they commit here? Not quite
nice
yet. As both attack, yeah, that's a lovely anti-nade. As BioNade finds a bunch of players over here. King Selena does get his call on EMP and gets D-Max really early on, but not before Omega finds a triple kill in the backline. MJ gets taken out, and Drunk Lion takes down Anchor as well. Lovely work coming out from Lionhardt, and that's going to be really tough for Forces to trying to stall here. The bomb comes out as well, just with an extra firepower, and nobody's able to stall. Great work coming out from Lionhardt. Omega carrying that fight, finding headshot after headshot after headshot, despite the fact that Selena was EMP'd and taken out. Omega had other plans for Lionhardt as they do manage to cap the point with a pretty significant time bank in hand.
Yeah, Lionheart was just able to capitalize off of that nice Bionade onto the tanks. You know, the tanks had to back off. Anchor was just demeched from that D.Va, and I mean, as soon as that anti-nade hit, you saw Drunk and King just going straight in. Even if King got demeched, it didn't really matter. And of course, Omega was just able to find that nice little angle, take out the people who were very, very low, and able to just cap. Very nice, solid coordination from the tanks and the DPS and Snivy, of course.
I'm surprised that MJ wasn't able to find more value with that EMP. I think that's partly to do with the map structure there, given the chance that that's not a place I would advise anybody use an EMP, because all you have to do is duck behind a wall or just get lucky there. So I think that if MJ was able to catch more than Selena there, that might have been a different story, but no, this is the timeline we live in now, and Omega was able to really, really carry that fight there. And on the attack, we have the dive coming up from both sides as they're going with the Pharah as well, that we've seen work out so well.
Yeah, I do like the defensive Pharah way more than the attack Pharah, especially if you're able to just survive the onslaught that Blossom is just going to be putting on, Ursa and Azulair. So as long as, they're able to stay alive and no one dies, but no, I jinxed it.
Oh my goodness, CV, why would you say that out loud? MJ and Anchor both get a pick of Peas and Ursa. Boy, does not just miss Snivy. Snivy is still there, putting up so much damage. Sorry, so much healing as Ana, but don't forget deleted Ursa Boy down to literally 1 health. Oh my goodness, how do you stay alive? That's that mercy movement we have come to expect from Ursa all season here so far. But they do get a tick as 4Sight continue to get advantage onto the point. Lionheart here trying to fight back and try to get this OT at the very least. As Omega is uncontested, but also unable to find too much value here. NJ comes back just to pepper Omega as well, as OT is now triggered, and it doesn't look like Omega is going to do too much work here, as they eventually do get taken down. So it's one fight territory, 30 seconds, rush forward, boys, you can just get the one fight. MJ might get an EMP online here, CB.
Yeah, the CMP is going to decide everything. If they're able to build it up in time, you have a little bit of time, so as long as someone touches point, whether that's MJ or Anchor, or even the Winston, as long as someone touches and MJ is able to build that EMP, this could swing the fight in favor of 4Sight.
Anchor takes a quick nap though. That's a great sleep start coming out from Snivy over here. Is anybody able to touch? Yep. MJ is on point, and the bomb is farmed, and Blossom lets him rip. Oh my goodness, what a play. MJ takes out Selena as well, so the EMP is ready, and fights 3! That's absolutely massive. Selena goes down, Omega and Ursa Boy go down as well. Omega with the bomb in hand, that's gotta hurt. Lionheart now just some full stall territory, because you do have 2 ultimates. You have the Valkyrie and the bomb ready to go if you're able to get them, but the team kill comes down, the only bomb is there, and with OT spawns, just like you said, CB, not with overtime spawns. Round 3 is complete as 4Sight. Really, really good push coming out here from 4Sight. Just like we said, CB, you said that the MJ was going to have to touch him. When you said that, I was worried, because if you put Sombra on touch duty, they're not going to be able to spend time farming that EMP. But just as that happened, Blossom just farmed Bob instead, and so MJ was given those couple extra seconds they needed, and the EMP is massive and finds 3. No fluffs this time. Great work coming out from 4Sight. And Lionheart, I wouldn't call this an uphill battle because you have close to 3 minutes to make this work, but 4Sight, I think, did everything they could to give themselves a reachable and achievable win condition.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to cap point B without that win condition such as EMP, it's going to be tough for Lionheart. If they're able to cap that second point, but with a little bit of time, of course, it just sets them up for the win. So, I mean, they just have to cap this really, really fast and not take it into overtime, so that, 4Sight doesn't get a chance as well. But we'll see how that plays out. They have to cap first point really fast in order to, have a good amount of tries at point B.
So I fully agree with KenDog here. Keep Blossom on the Ash. Never mind. Oh my goodness. Omega is skirting dominance as the better hit cam play here. But Blossom is, oh my goodness, Omega finding another pick? That's absolutely massive. Lionhardt cracks this point wide open already.
Omega's pounding!
What is happening? Oh my goodness, and the anti comes out onto Grandson Gamer, who barely gets out with their life, and now some pressure is going to be put on the point. Out there, and Drunk Clan going to find a piece as well. Lionheart are steaming forward. Omega is on some other stuff, CB. That was ridiculous.
Absolutely insane plays. I mean, here comes the Diva for the touch, as well as the Sombra right here, just behind this Pharah. You're gonna have that touch, but they're probably just gonna insta-die.
Yeah, Sombra is just there to stall a little bit. I don't know if those 10 seconds are worth it. I don't know if that 4% of EMP was worth it, because Omega now already almost has the Bob ready to go. I'm a little lost for words there. Omega just really put the team on their shoulders and went for a deadlift.
Yeah, I'm surprised Aslayer is staying on this far. You're not close enough to death.
It's the Ash Meadow! Blossom claps back, Ursa Boy and Omega going down, so MJ takes the opening, goes in and finds Snivy as well. And what's really important there is that Blossom took down Omega and immediately found Ursa Boy, because that's the last thing you want to do, is to let the enemy team, let the opposition get the Temple Resurrection, and King Selena does it to jump off the point to re-deck as well.
I mean, like I said, I am super duper surprised Aslayer decided to stay, especially going into the point with 50%. I mean, that's not close enough in my opinion to just stick on the Pharah, especially at an awkward point to play Pharah in like this. I'm not sure if I agree with this. To me, it wastes a lot of time.
Anchor's on the Diva as well, so the Matrix is well timed. That Barrage is going to fight with value, but Blossom gets taken down. Lovely work from Aslayer there. Omega got taken down Alien, so there's going to be no resurrections this time, boys and girls. Omega and Selena getting a kill apiece, as well as the bomb D-Max Anchor. And Selena is able to confirm that kill. The Nano comes down onto the far, interestingly enough, and it's working. Beam gets taken down. The Nano Far also has a Mercy Pocket. Good luck contesting that 4Sight. And Lionheart, a blistering time coming out from Lionheart. And 4Sight is going to have to get back on that saddle with another attack. This is the highest I've seen scores rack up to on 2CP maps, CD.
Yeah, I mean, other than probably Overwatch League, yeah, I'm not gonna lie there. I kind of forgot how 2CP rules are. I thought they had to be in overtime in order for 4Sight to get another chance to attack, but I guess I'm wrong. They get another chance anyways. I thought the best they can hope for is a draw, but you know, I'm kind of a little dumb. But no, I mean, a very, very nice attack coming through from Lionheart. I mean, they made me eat my words there. I thought Aslayer was throwing by sticking onto the Pharah, just wasting time. But no, Omega was just able to go in there with a pick, and I mean, it just opened up a lot of space for Aslayer to just go in, you know, pop the barrage. I was able to only find one, but I mean, still, it's just one is all you need. And,
alright, so this is exciting. Not only are we heading over to what is our 5th round of Hanamura now, we're also seeing a bunker comp coming out on the side of Lionheart, as they're tired of getting they're tired of running against the dive, and they're just going to just hang on this high ground and see. I kind of dare 4Sight to make a move here, just to see that Omega gets taken out really early on, and the pull comes down onto the Mercy. The Mercy's taking so much damage, barely managed to get that res up, and if you don't get that res up, you're down definitely into stall in one fight territory. So, it was a risky move, but it paid off in the end.
I like this rotation coming through from 4Sight. It's really gonna make them drop to this low ground and just bunker up there. You're not really you can't really stay down there, or up there, or else, you know, you're just gonna lose.
So Lionheart do rotate onto point, and Anchor got face first and all the damage, and the Matrix is fully charged up and ready to go. So now the Immortality field is coming out from Ursa Boy, but Ursa Boy gets taken out really early. Omega still finding picks left, right, and center, but Anchor answers back as well. As there with a turret, doing so much work, shooting through the window at Anchor, giving so much all target over to Asler as well, and Drinkline switches over to the ball to stall. Omega finding kills and farming up Bob as well. This could be it. Does the Bob find a kill? Not quite the
Slayer the Torb.
Oh my goodness! The Torb finds the triple. Eventually does go down to the Lucio, but it is full stall territory for 4Sight over here. It does look like Lionhardt going to be able to stabilize and deny the capture here, just giving up one tick.
This Torb is just a... I was thinking this was another throw pick, but no. Asler is just able to pop off. And if they come back with the Molten Core, no way they can touch. Even with the Wrecking Ball.
I think Asler was doing so well there because... what are you gonna do? Dive a Torb, CB? No, we're just gonna run around the Torb, but Omega was popping off as well, so he's gonna have anybody to go after here. The Molten Core comes out as well, along with the Atom Matrix, and it just looks like Bean is doing the bell to hide behind the Bella, but they do eventually get exposed over here, and it's just full solitary. Asler takes down Elro with the turret as well. Another Asler kill coming out from Asler on one. CB continues to insist as a throw pick, I suppose. The ammo fuel is out as well, but a little bit too late for King Selena, but Asler is just cleaning up the point. Dude. They only give up a tick. That's a wonderful defense coming out on the side of Lionhardt. Lionhardt now in a really dominant position. They have to capture 40% of the point here in order to get the map win and to put themselves ahead 2-1 here in the driving seat to win the championship here in the Console Contenders League. Remember, a lot of people were spamming 4Sight 4-0 in chat here before this started, so Lionhardt really making a huge name for themselves.
Yeah, if they win this map, this is going to be a huge statement. You know, all the 4Sight, chats that I was looking at in our Discord, they were all saying, good luck, kind of sarcastically, and they even have their Lionheart's, logo as their profile pictures right now in Overwatch. So I mean, to just come out with a 2-1 straight up, I mean, that's a huge statement. You're literally telling them, I will not lose again. And if they manage to pull this one off, go up in the series, if I'm 4Sight, I would take this like way more seriously at this point.
Yeah, I feel like 4Sight maybe just a little bit surprised to see Lionhardt come out swing as hard as they are, but that's to be expected. This is a championship game, and after switching it up, Lionhardt coming back out onto the dive now, and Asler now. Is there anything Asler can't play? Because we've seen the Somber coming out now.
Yeah, you're telling me, man. It's just very impressive to see this hero pool. Asler is just going to be right here in the back line trying to farm up the CMP. TP's a little early in my opinion, but Omega yet again on the kill.
Omega takes down Blossom, so that's really important resurrection that you're going to be able to suck out of Lionhardt here as Omega takes a lot of damage, and Orisa Boy goes down as well. So Lionhardt are going to have to slow down a little bit as Blossom is doing a really good job of helping 4Sight stay in this fight.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Anchor's still not in the mech, so I mean, they could still win. No, never mind. Blossom is kind of clutching up, but Omega finishes Anchor, so this no, it's not going to be winnable. They have to reset right now.
Looking tough for a little bit, but they still have another fight to go. But that was a little bit of a scrappy, little bit of a messy fight, and that's exactly what 4Sight's wanted. They wanted something crazy like this in order to ensure that they burn as much time off as possible. And now Blossom is 30% ahead of Omega on the Bob counter.
Yeah, but I mean, Asler already built up the EMP, so this could be the win as long as they're able to catch about, maybe 3 people or maybe just the tanks. It could be very, very winnable here.
Alright, so the EMP comes out, catches 3 as the Bob takes down Asler, though, so this could be anybody's game here. Drunkbite takes down Blossom, and Selena is now out of mech. A lot of else being committed here, understandably so, as these trickle down into OT. As the Lionhardt sees Asler switching onto the trace to come back as soon as possible. The Valkyrie does expire, and Elro's in a little trouble here. Gets chucked down to half health, but eventually does able to get out and gets healed up. No, I lied. Elro is so low. Oh my goodness, doesn't come off, and eventually gets taken up by Omega. As Bean is not going to heal their fellow support up, and it does so the Lionhardt is starting to swing this back around. Orisa Boy there with the Valkyrie as well, ready to go. We're now halfway up to that magic number, 39.3%, as the primal rage is committed. But Grandson Maybe taking down so much damage. Blossom gets taken down as well. Orisa Boy gets eventually deleted as well, but too little too late as Lionhardt pulls forward 2-1 in this series here in the Console Contenders League.
And that fight could have really went either way right there. It was just so close. It all came down to that EMP and just the engagement they're able to take right there. As soon as they're able to find the pick onto the main tank, it was just all downhill from there for the side of 4Sight. So very nice play.
Of Omega, what is this play? That was ridiculous. The tracking on the Mercy was gorgeous.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, that was just so good from Omega. Omega, insane on the Ashe, on the hit scan. What more can you say? We've seen it in Blizzard World, and now we're seeing it here. This is just it, man.
So Lionheart pulling forward now. Really putting 4Sight on the back foot here. I'm sure this is not a result they expected.
Yeah, definitely not. I'm sure if you're 4Sight right here, you were definitely expecting to be 2-1, maybe even 3-0 up at this point. You were definitely not expecting to be losing right now. So, I mean, 4Sight, they got to be a little anxious right here. I mean, they don't look too comfortable running this dive, in my opinion. They need to pick something. I know 2CP, it's better to run dive on most of the maps, but they need to pick something here that, you know, is more in their wheelhouse.
Just looks like Match Chat is just sorting out a personnel issue as they're trying to fit more people into this lobby.
Alright. Okay, What map are you expecting to see next? I think Hybrid is our next map. Choice.
I mean, 4Sight are just maybe hoping to go with something they're comfortable with, and every team's comfort pick is King's Row.
True. You could decide to run King's Row, but you also need to. You could decide to run Eichenwald too if you really wanted to. The worst choice for them would honestly be probably
running the Numbani dive.
Yeah, Numbani.
It's Rialto. Okay. Anchor has come back with a Rialto pick. So get your snipers.
It's not hybrid. It's not hybrid. Yeah. It's escort. Oopsies.
We're dumb. So snipers galore here on this point, and based on what we've seen Omega and Blossom do, if they are able to replicate their Ashe performance and mechanics onto the Widowmaker, this is going to be a crazy map. The score is 2-1 to the side of Lionheart. If you're just tuning in, I'm sure that's not something you were expecting, but not only that, it's 10:15 and we're only 3 maps in, so it's been a bit of a slog. We did have to start a little bit late, but every map went into OT here, so sorry if this is taking longer than everybody expected. We're about halfway through the series. We're going to be casting till midnight, CB.
Hey, I mean, it's not like I have to work at 8 in the morning anyways, so... I'm kidding, I do.
No.
But, I don't care. I don't get any sleep anyways, so it's whatever, but... Rialto, yeah, I'm really hyped for this one, especially if we see Omega running this sniper. This is going to be wild. But, yeah, Oreo is going to be coming in for Snivy, so interesting. I guess Oreo is just a more safe pick because Snivy on the Ana is a little risky here if they decide to run, you know? If they decide to run dive, sorry.
Welcome to Rialto.
Yeah, the dive on Rialto is doable, but it is a little bit awkward at points of the map because you can't find too much staging ground. But I'm looking forward to see what these teams go with here because, truth be told, we have seen some double barrier come out, either in the form of a Sigma Rhine or a Sigma Orisa, and both these tank lineups are actually pretty viable on this map.
Yeah, you could really run this this double shield. It's a very good point, especially first point with this little streets phase right here. You know, doubling back to this corner. It's a very, very strong place to play this Orisa Sigma, but it's also a good place to run the Rhine. So if any team decides to run the Rhine here against the double shield on defense, you know, you can just run that over pretty quickly. But yeah, we are going to see Ryan from Drunk. Not quite the tank line I was expecting. I wasn't expecting King to run this Diva, but it could work out. And we do see Anchor and Grand Slam on Ball Hog. I don't think they're going to keep that one.
That ain't gonna be it. That ain't gonna be it. I'm wrong. That is gonna be it? No. No.
Way.
Alright,
No
chat.
way.
Okay, the Ball and Hog is the
Oh,
commitment
no
over
way.
here. This is amazing. Okay, and Aslan gets deleted already. Grand Slam Gamer's making it work. Anchor eventually does the door to the Reinhardt, but the damage is done already. Grand Slam Gamer taking out the mate. And okay, so the Rhines are on point. They counterpin into each other, so the Reinhardts are tapping nipples real quick as Anchor just starts swinging forward, making an absolute nuisance of themselves here. What a tank line, CB. That's not what I. Oh my goodness! Wow, all the conjecture and everything we ever try to predict, straight down the toilet, CB.
Who would have thought Hog? I mean, like, come on, like Hog is just such a out of this, like, is just such a five-head kind of play because
It's a little bit
I mean, the
five-head,
other
but
team doesn't expect it.
It's like 6-head to stay on the Hog too after getting past the bridge, but Anchor now switching over to the Ball as well. I'm thoroughly confused and delighted as the hook comes out onto Omega. The Reaper's supposed to counter you, Grand Slam. That's not how it's supposed to go. What a hook! And now the whole Hog is committed as well. Shreds that Winston bubble and just shoves everybody off the map.
What a wild tank comp. I mean, Anchor and Grand Slam are just absolutely dominating this tank line right now.
Double kill in the back line as well, and Blossom and MJ are no slouches either, as our hit scan players are finding kills in the back line as well. Bean takes down Oreo as Blossom commits the infra site as well. It's gonna be really difficult for Lionhardt to come in and contest.
Anchor? Hello?
What is I don't know what this map is, dog. I'm trying to
Fell
best
off
to
the
keep
map.
up. What is happening, Anchor? Where are you going? So it does look like Grand Slam, I think, missed the first hook they ever missed so far this series. They're taking a lot of damage now. The sound barrier is dropped by Ursa Point to keep everybody alive. As Omega goes to the back line, does manage to find Blossom, and the dual coalesces do come out. The bomb comes onto the back line, not finding anybody, but Oreo takes that Grand Slam, and MJ is taken out by Omega as well. And it looks like Lionheart are finally going to be able to stabilize here on Rialto.
Yeah, I mean, what a weird tank comp right here. It's just yeah, I mean, once you lose control, though, I would think that you would just swap off. It seems like the logical reasoning, but no, they're committed. They're just sticking on this. I do, however, like Blossom on this Widow instead of the Ash.
Oh my goodness, that's a 5-man EMP, CB. Single in Ursa Point follows up so quickly. Ursa Point boots Grand Slam mins that come out. Hello, all 600 of your health. That's straight into my pocket as my ult charge, says Ursa Point. As a Drunk Lion hatred of Anchor as well, and we finally are seeing some swaps over to a more conventional playstyle here. It worked out for them until it didn't, and now we just with a minute left to get the capture onto this point, but Anchor does have the hamster droppings ready to go.
Yeah, he just freaking straight up, my health now, just slurp that up. But, but no, Omega's gonna be very aggressive right here.
So quickly, and Anchor gets hacked up as well. Oh my goodness, and then one comes in, Omega finds Arrow and gets everybody chunked down so low. Omega himself, though, already struggling to keep up his Ursa Point down to 1. Eventually gets sucked down by Bean. Altair as well takes down Blossom. A really chaotic and really messy fight, but eventually does swing over to the side of Lionhardt. And 4Sight now.
Drunk Lion?
We're going to just scramble to touch, and Drunk Lion, what is... CB, I'm so confused! My brain hurts! Okay, King Selena is here on point contesting, and the mines are committed as well. King Selena barely managed to get back and regroup with their team over here. Anchor into the backline and hacks up, and Abs gets absolutely farmed.
Oh no!
Such a ball you're playing against the Sombra. Oh, get the coalescence. It's coming in the biggest fit. The dueling coalescence here is coming out as well. Oreo was going to answer of their open meetings and Omega as well. The AP comes out. Finds 2. Is the bomb going to find anybody? Oh my goodness! A full kill, baby! And Oreo takes up Blossom as well. Oh my goodness, so many clutch players on both these teams. Oreo and Ursa doing everything they can to stay alive here. Anchor continues to get hacked up over and over again. And they, oh my goodness, they almost D9 CV, but they do manage to stay up. Anchor and Grand Slam Gamer eventually do get deleted, and Lionhardt do hold on to the point. What a baffling round of Overwatch we just witnessed, CB. I am, what? Help.
Absolutely clutch from Azlair and King with the combo, the plays, the communication. You have the EMP, and then you just pop it, throw the bomb, and pray to the RNG gods that you kill someone. And they managed to get 3 people, which just turns that losing situation into just a dub. I mean, with Drunk falling, you think, I mean, that's just it. That's over. They just lose first point, but no, the teamwork with just the combo was just able to clutch it up, and they just put themselves in such a winnable position. This could be easily 3-1 territory in the side of Lionhardt.
Yeah, Lionhardt, I think, really set themselves up for success there, and the Hog worked, and then the Hog didn't, and I think the problem there was Anchor wanted to stay on to go one more fight, right? You stay on to go one more fight because you're on the ball and you have mines, but at that point, Azlair was on the Sombra and hard farming the ball, and at that point you have to make that tough decision to switch off despite the fact you have ult, and they didn't. Anchor got farmed, got hacked, came back, used the mines, got farmed, got hacked, and then at that point never got a chance to swap off because it was stall territory, so you had to use the ball for the speed to touch. And then what happened? You get hacked, you get farmed. So yeah, big shout out to Azlair for dealing with that ball so well, playing a really defensive Sombra, just there to hold hack as the enemy team engages, and it worked out perfectly. So Lionhardt with a very clear and present and attainable win condition here to maybe put themselves in the driving seat to achieve this championship.
Yeah, and they don't really have a counter to this Pharah. I mean, you have the Sombra to maybe get a hack, but there goes Oreo just straight away.
Yeah, Grand Slam Gamer doing an extremely good job jumping into the backline, take that front line as well, and it does look like if you're on the side of 4Sight here, you're gonna contest and die fast, or you're gonna or sorry, if you're on the side of Lionhardt here, you want to get out and reset here. Really good work coming out on the side of 4Sight here to win the first map, because from, you know, you buy yourselves 10-15 seconds here for winning, but more than that, you buy yourselves an alpha advantage, but most importantly, it's a little bit of a mental reset for your team that just got absolutely rolled up in attack.
Yeah, I like the swap, just trying to duel the Reapers here. Azlair also gets hacked, so no longer can TP away, and MJ is almost done farming that EMP, is just way ahead of Azlair in the EMP race.
Drunk Line stands on Anchor, so it might be a tough situation here around the set of 4Sight over here, because you're not quite far enough to go for a full reset, but you're close enough that's going to be nervous. So Blossom over here, Death Blossom's kind of in no man's land here, not just, there wasn't anybody close to them, but there was also a defense matrix all over that. Kind of an odd decision here, but of course it's managed to hold on. The AV comes out, finds 4 players, Selena gets taken down, as does Ursa Boy, and it does look like Lionhardt might have to reset again. A really good defense coming out on 4Sight so far, 2 minutes remaining on the clock.
Absolutely insane defense. I mean, you have you can have the EMP bomb again for another combo, but you know, Azlair is just so far behind compared to the bomb that it's just going to be a little tough to farm this one up. Unless right here they're able to demech though. That could be huge.
Comes up onto Anchor and able to mitigate any of the damage coming in. So Mega Fight 2. That's lovely work coming out on the side of Lionhardt. They can clutch it up right here though, and Selena takes on MJ as well. Grand Slam Gamer is using the oh no, the getting hacked mid Primal Rage has gotta hurt, and that's full stall territory coming online now for 4Sight. They're definitely going to be able to touch, but I don't know what state they'll be in by the time they arrive here. But a really early EMP is used, and Selena finds 2 with the bomb. Okay, that's really interesting choice, but I think I really vibe with it. The sound barrier is there, fighting all 6 members of the team. Or someone with a really well-placed sound barrier there, and it's just cleanup duty on the side of Lionhardt. Can they make it 3-1 in this series? Yes, they can, and we are now moving on to a championship deciding map on the side of Lionhardt, CB.
I mean, Who would have thought that this is all just comes down to this one? 3-1 for Lionheart. I mean, we talk about underdogs at the beginning of this. No way did anyone think that this was going to be 3-1 for Lionheart. Like, everyone probably thought this was going to be, at this point, maybe 2-2, 3-1 for 4Sight, but not in a million years did anyone think that the undefeated team would be 3-1 down right now. Anything's possible though, so if 4Sight have any chance to pull it back, it has to be very soon.
I mean, at the very least, it's good television, right? It's a crazy
very
match.
true.
CD. We had everything.
I mean, yeah.
People jumping off the point. We had people running ball into a Sombra. We had people missing their EMPs. We saw Faras and Ashes and Reapers and everything under the light.
3K
we saw a hog!
balls.
We saw a hog! What is happening?
We saw hog ball.
We saw hog ball and it worked. CV, it worked. It worked so well, and the moment it stopped working, it was the most disastrous thing you could imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a very, very interesting next map. If they don't win this map, imagine getting 4-1 whenever you're the undefeated team. That has to suck. But, I mean, they have the next map pick. They've had the previous, like, 2 map picks, but if there's any time to come back, it is now. I mean, it has to be now anyways. So
yeah,
we'll
it's
see
not
what...
really much of an option, CB, but that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4Sight now with their backs against the wall, but that might be the edge they needed to prove that they deserve that first seed, to prove that they deserve that record, and to prove that they won't go down without a fight.
Yeah, and it all comes down to this map pick right here. I believe now is, I thought it was Escort, or not Escort, Hybrid. Did we already do Hybrid? Am I tripping?
They did Blizzard World map too.
Blizzard World. Oh yeah, that was Hybrid.
It is Busan next.
Control? Okay. You can't... Someone said 4-2-1 final score. Perhaps, but they would have to win this control. I mean, they won the first control, so if this is going to be any time to do it, they have to win this next 2CP map. I mean, not 2CP, control map.
If one of the teams were to change a tank player to DPS or, you know, whatever, would they have to specify that?
No, they wouldn't have to tell you specifically. They would just be there just to make the sub, and then they're going to.
Well, no, like
just
if
stay out.
Grand Slam went to DPS and Blossom went to tank, would they have to specify that?
They would not have to tell you, no.
Okay.
As long as their SRs are good for that, and as long as they stay on it all game, then they should be okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Well, since we have a second here, Femi, what are your thoughts so far?
This has been a sick freaking game. We're actually going in right now, but I've had a really fun job watching. I haven't gone into third person once, because usually when I'm watching like Resident
We're still
Sleeper
on
games,
Relto.
oh my god, dude, call the cops. I'm terrible at this. Sorry. So now that we actually do have time, whenever I'm watching like hosting like lower division games, I kind of like put it in third a lot, because it's like the chaos is a lot easier to grasp in like third person, like in the sky above, you know. But when it's such a good game like this, and like every moment someone's popping, you can't really afford to have it in anything but first person. You know what I mean? Did he say Busan? He said Busan, right? One of y'all said Busan. Okay, he did. Okay. God, you freaked me out. Because somebody said Oasis, and I almost died.
So we're going into Busan. We're starting off in City Center. This is a very, very sniper map, I would say. Sniper / Tracer with a little bit of brawl. You can also play the Winston here. You can also play Wrecking Ball if you really want to. Just saying.
And from everything we have seen, Anchor does really want to play Wrecking Ball, CB.
Maybe this is just a strat they drew up, and you know, Wrecking Ball is just the. I don't know, but you know, Wrecking Ball was just the strat they drew up in scrims or something. It hasn't really worked so far, but maybe now is the time that it starts to work. Oh, is this gonna be what they stick on? Hog Zarya?
Only one way to find out, but the Hog Zarya is going to be extremely entertaining, and we see Blossom over onto the... Okay, Blossom over onto the tank line, and we have Grand Slam Gamer playing the Pharah now. Playing your star DPS player on the Zarya is not unheard of. We saw it with Sinatra in Season 2, and we most recently saw it with Decay in the Overwatch. So, you know, crazier things have happened as we make sure that
my man...
What's up, Femi?
My man said Busan like a year ago. And he said Oasis my bad. I know, but he said Oasis my bad, and like didn't feel the need to at me. Until like we're already in. So that's my bad. Hard, I guess.
No worries,
that's
no
my
worries.
bad.
Yeah, hard,
Okay.
I guess. I agree. No worries, Femi. You're doing a great job.
Okay, thank you. Alright, reset match.
Oh, I was about to get my loins ready for some Busan.
Me too, man. Alright, I'm back to mutant.
Alright, so now we're going into Oasis. Okay, I think this one's also called City Center, so... you know, we're not switching the names of the point, but you know, it's a different map, same point. We'll see what they decide to run here. Maybe we still see that Pharah, you know, double off tank strat, perhaps. Who knows?
That's going to be a bold move, but I am excited to see Blossom play some tank. I really hope that wasn't a joke. And here we are, Blossom now onto the Diva. Okay. So let's get Blossom, Anchor, Tank Line, and Grand Slam Gamer is now going to switch over onto the DPS role. And back against the wall in the championship game, I suppose if there's any time to pull something out of the bag, this is the time.
MJ going on the Symmetra is a very interesting decision. You have to take first control right here. If you don't, you're going to put your team and yourself very far behind the ultimate and point control, ultimate, you know, economy. So you have to. Oh, never mind. Switching off the Symmetra. Go on the Tracer. That's more like it. I was kind of worried for a second there.
Both teams jostling for high ground control over here. As they're just taking repeated kicks up another elevator. Omega takes down Anchor as well. Really early on, makes that a double kill onto B. Lionhardt with a really good opening fight over here as they try to lock up the championship right here and right now. And that's exactly what you want. You want to isolate Anchor with Omega, right? You want to isolate the Reaper onto that monkey, and that's exactly what they did there.
I don't know. Anchor swapped from Wrecking Ball to Diva, so they're switching the tank role. Yeah, Blossom on the Winston now. I don't know how this is gonna, you know, pan out. This could be either good or bad, but I mean, Lionhardt with the first control, it's gonna be very hard for them to take this one back, especially since Azlair is already at 70% EMP.
Yeah, that EMP is going to be absolutely crucial, but just let me say that Drunk Line does get hacked up there as Blossom is touching a little bit of space, but MJ and Grand Slam both answering back, so 4Sight are clapping back, and the Oreo is forced to use the Coalescence very early on. Looks like a remake coming from King Selena, and the Angry Monkey, the Primal Rage, is popped out from Drunk Line to keep themselves alive. But they get chunked down slowly to grab the Mega, but it's really not much. If you're the Angry Monkey, 1,000 health gets deleted almost immediately. Drunk Line does end up going down as the Anchor and Elro here, doing a really good job of keeping everybody up and keeping everybody on the side of Lionhardt down. MJ taking down King Selena as well, and it's just full stall territory for this Lucio. Ursa doing everything they can, already farmed that sound barrier, so just here to kick down the clock, but they do manage to capture 66% of the points. A really good start on the side of Lionhardt.
Okay, well, 66%. I mean, City Center is very tough to take control of, which is why you see such a huge chunk of percentage right there just from 2 fights. But there's the Dust Blossom and the Sound Barrier Dancer. EMP going to be thrown in there as well. I didn't really hear Charles, but EMP is going to be thrown in there. They're going to just have to reset right here, right now. Hopefully, no one else dies.
Yeah, the EMP was stuffed there. Only finding Aslair. And that if you're going to pick up one target to EMP, it's probably not the enemy Sombra unless they also have EMP. So that was a tough one, and it does look like Lionhardt are managed to group up pretty quickly to come back onto the point with him to lose to fully join back. We see Omega going onto this little bit of a flank onto the right side, hoping to isolate some vulnerable targets in the backline.
Yeah, there's the Aslair EMP, just popped it up, built it up really fast, and there's the Death Blossom.
Comes out, and Anchor is not there with the defense matrix, but it doesn't matter because Omega doesn't find too many people with that Death Blossom to follow up. There doesn't find a Grand Slam, but you are missing Drunk Lion on the side of Lionhardt as well. And now both teams are matched on capture point percentage. 4Sight doing a great job of holding on to this, and these teams are just very evenly trading kills for kills for kills. So it's really hard to predict the outcome of this. But Anchor does get D-Max. Can they remake? Maybe. Oh, that was so close. They almost got themselves there. They already hit triangle, but just a little bit too late, and it was killed mid-animation. Omega finding a double kill with Drunk Lion finding Bean as well, and now it's just full stall territory. The monkey is back as well. Blossom just doing what they can to solve the point and then build themselves to a primal rage. Build 10%, fees over 500 health. Pretty even trade if you ask me, and now it is one fight territory for both teams.
I mean, like I said, this is why City Center is just so hard to cap. That one and Gardens is just very tough to cap because the spawns are so close to the point that, and the point is so large, they can just stall it out for a very, very long time.
Oh, the
nice
bomb!
bomb!
Oh my goodness! The bomb comes in and Blossom jumps up to bubble the bomb, but the bomb just bounces off the wall in a really awkward manner and ends up catching the monkey out as well. Lionhardt now 4% away from taking this map, and Anchor falls off the map, but Phantom Hammer ends up with a Death Blossom as Arrow takes down Kingselina as well. MJ takes down a Drunk Lion as well. This is great work coming out from 4Sight. That's clutch if I've ever seen it. 95% remaining, and they do manage to take control of the point where we have Aslair in the backline, ready to touch and trigger the OT, and there they are. Do they get the EMP online? Yes, they do. They don't deploy it quite yet. Selena is in by putting them time as this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Omega commits the Death Blossom there, and Earth Boy tried to keep everybody alive by using the sound barrier, but it didn't connect with Omega because there was a great bubble right around him. Blossom and Aelra both get caught up in the EMP, but the follow-up damage isn't there. Kingsley takes a Grand Slam Hammer, but oh my goodness, Anchor finds a double kill, a triple kill on the monkey. That's amazing. Anchor doing so much work on the ball. The ball no longer a throw pick. Rialto's over, boys and girls. Oriole gets taken out as well as 4Sight do manage in the most convoluted and difficult way possible. Capture point A.
I mean, that was really anyone's fight, really. That EMP was huge, so was the sound barrier to keep everyone up. But 4Sight was just able to shrug that off and just like rotate so well onto that point and just, you know, hold that control with all that they can. And, you know, by the end of it, Lionhardt just didn't have the gas to keep going. So very, very good stuff from 4Sight on that point. University, though, this one is it's going to be a bit tougher to run that dive style, so maybe this is going to be what 4Sight was hoping for right here.
Yeah, the Reinhardt's coming out for both teams here, and like we said, if you're just tuning in here, Lionhardt is leading the series 3-1. And remember, if they win this map, they win the series and the championship. Early main walls coming out for both teams. Not too much isolation coming out, they're just in the slightly awkward positions. The both teams just jostling for point control right now, but oh my goodness, MJ is in so very deep, managed to get out with their life. They have to race from online. The pin comes out, and Ursa Boy gets deleted immediately, but